Dragon Ball Daima episode 8. Best episode so far that we've seen out of all the episodes that's been coming out, and definitely step up in a lot of things that we've been waiting for. Like, we've been waiting to see some big action, some grand, the fight in this thing was incredible. It kind of gave me Dragon Ball Super Broly movie vibes when I seen this scene, especially when Goku does this huge Kamehameha against the Tamagami. Because now the episode starts off with that fight, which it left off from the last episode. And in this thing, they're starting off in base. Goku's using his Nyobo, and he's using a giant hammer, which is kind of like magnetized a little bit. So it's kind of reminds me of Thor, and they're both going at it. Then eventually, he kind of like trying to crush Goku with his, hammer by using his magnetism powers and stuff like that. And Goku is pretty much holding against it with his Nyobo, but Goku ends up going Super Saiyan and knocking it away. Now at this point, Goku is telling him like it's time for them to fight serious, and now they both lose their weapons and decide to fight hand to hand, and they're going at it. And that's when Goku begins to charge up this huge Kamehameha, and the Tamagami charges up a huge power, and everything is just incredible with this fight. Now fast forward, Goku ends up pretty much kind of defeating him. Everybody in the village is watching and astonished by Goku's power. But then later on, the Tamagami tell Goku that's enough, that he's seen enough, and that he's satisfied with Goku's power. But he said before Goku could get the Dragon Ball, he has to do one more test and defeat him in one final battle. And at this thing is pretty much the Tamagami is putting the Dragon Ball under like some type of metal hats, and pretty much switching it around like an old game that people see on the streets, where they hide like a cap or something, like a bottle cap, and they use it. So he's pretty much doing that, and everybody is like in shock looking, and he's pretty much moving around, and nobody could see what happened because that's how fast the Tamagami was moving around the hats and stuff like that. And Supreme Kai said he couldn't even see what happened, so everybody's just looking, and Goku said the hat is over there, is not under. The Dragon Ball is not under the hat, and it's pretty much floating above one of the villagers' heads. And Goku tell him that he pretty much fling the Dragon Ball in the last minute before anyone even saw. And he was telling Goku, well done, and Goku ended up getting the Dragon Ball. Now, at this point, word is traveling around that Goku defeated the Tamagami and got a Dragon Ball. So this is like going to be a big news. So at this point, they're en route to go back to Warp so they could enter, the second demon realm. And at this point, Hibiscus calls the Demon King of the third demon world, and he's pretty much telling them the good news about Goku's, triumph and getting the Dragon Ball. And he's telling them that he don't have to go and try to track them down, just go meet them at Warp to meet up with them. So at this point, he's telling them like take them to a hotel, and kind of a funny moment because he's saying like he asking the Hibiscus is asking like Hibis, I say Hibiscus. Hibis is asking the third demon realm king that if he can get some like wine with mud. And Boma's asking like, what is that, like what does it taste like? He's like, it tastes like mud. And so everyone's kind of like laughing about it. And at the same time, you also get Vegeta, who's questioning them about like the Dragon Balls and demanding to know like what's going on. And at this point, he goes sliding and say that he tells Vegeta that he's very arrogant and that he's not even a king. And Vegeta's kind of like asking him nicely like please, and Bulma's over there trying to like hold her dying laughing under like her mouth, covering her mouth and everything. So it was definitely a lot of funny moments in this episode, and something I would definitely want to go back and rewatch the episode again to see anything I missed. But it was definitely incredible. Now we do get a scene where pretty much Gloria is walking and gets a call from Dr. Arinsu, and he tells her the news that Goku got the Dragon Ball, and tells her okay, she's about to go get prepared for her main phase of her plan. Now she goes and meets some random wizard or whoever it is, and pretty much at this point we finally get a scene of Goma, because we didn't see Goma for a while, and him and pretty much they were looking at videos of Buu when he was regenerating after he got blown up, and they see something in the distance. They found out Dr. Arinsu was there collecting a sample of Buu, and that she took with them. And they're wondering like what is she planning, and she knew about Buu around that time and figured that maybe the board told her about him. So at this point, Dr. Rinsu is meeting this witch, and they're pretty much creating some type of whatever is like a stew, like, you know, witches be brewing things, and they're pretty much pouring in that piece of, you know, Majin Buu that they took, and they're pretty much revealing some big, huge news, because pretty much they're saying now that this lady is the one that actually created Majin Buu, and she tried to say, oh no, she didn't create him, Bibbidi created him. It's like, no, Dr. Rinsu said she knows the truth, that Bibbidi just only conjured him, which we realized that in the interview from Toriyama, stating that Buu has been there since the beginning of time and that Bibbidi could only just conjure him up. So we kind of knew this already, but now it's stemming back to know like where Majin Buu actually come from, and that this lady is actually the one who created Majin Buu and pretty much, I guess, did everything for Bibbidi, and Bibbidi was able to have access to create him and conjure him, but after he ran loose in the demon realm. So it kind of makes a lot more sense in certain things, and pretty much giving even more backstory to Majin Buu as well. So now it's also a couple other statements stating that, you know, Dr. Rinsu has made other Majins, but they weren't as strong as Buu. And she's saying this time, you know, they're gonna have this, which should be with Buu's, you know, pretty much DNA. They should be able to make him right. But her focus this time will be on control. So she's telling Dr. Rinsu to drop her saliva. So this time her essence will be a part of Buu, so she can pretty much communicate with him without even having to say a word. And so pretty much they're pretty much trying to create another Majin Buu where she has full control, pretty much almost like a mind control thing, instead of like, you know, trying to talk to him. Like, it's going to be probably more of an essence. Maybe may even have partial control of him by entering, like without even having to say nothing, like entering his body and just kind of controls him. So who knows? So there's a lot of big secrets that's being revealed, and seeing this all this happen before Super, you know, it kind of takes away certain stuff, because, you know, we don't really get too much of this stuff being, you know, shown in Super. But hopefully when Super does return, they may tie in more of this stuff into a later arc after, you know, everything that's coming on now, so we can see what's going on, or maybe stuff that goes past Z at this point. So we just have to wait and see. But those are some big news and big reveals that we end up getting when we end up, you know, seeing this episode of, especially about Buu. Like I said, going back to the fight scenes, the fight was incredible. I recommend you go watch it, because like I said, the animation, we had the top tier animators on this episode, and I just can't wait to see the future fights where, you know, we actually get like bigger villains in the show and see what they can pull off, because this episode is definitely by far the best episode so far out of all 8 episodes that we've seen. So I definitely can't wait to see the next episode. The next episode is going to be called Thieves, and we don't really get to see too much. We kind of see someone look like they're stealing something. Glorio's pointing his gun. Goku's running out kind of like in pajama clothes or something like that, and so maybe something gets stolen. And my guess is probably somebody shows up to steal the Dragon Ball, because I feel like at this point with word traveling that Goku's, you know, got the Dragon Ball, a lot of people are going to be wanting to try to get their hands on the Dragon Ball, figuring since he got one away from the Tamagimis. But at the same time, I don't think people want to, if you was afraid of the Tamagimis, this guy who defeated the Tamagimis, I don't think that you really want to try to go against them. But then again, it's called Thieves, so they're going to probably try to steal it from them while they're sleeping somehow, and try to make ways, or taking something else that they may need. So who knows? But we just got to wait to see the next episode. So far, this is the best episode so far. So if you haven't seen it, I suggest you go and see it, because like I said, even with all the spoilers that we probably just revealed, it's still good just to like enjoy the episode, because Toriyama just knows that well balance of just putting some great animation and like, you know, fights, and also some good comedy as well. So I'm definitely saying this is the best episode so far. So don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We'll be giving you guys more updates. We might do a stream. Like I said, we had a test stream before, so We may do a live stream. This will be the first real live stream on the channel, where we're gonna probably discuss a couple of things about Dragon Ball Daima, probably this episode, a couple of breakdowns, and a couple of other things as well that we probably haven't got a chance to like really go over and kind of get to see you guys' thoughts as well. So just stay tuned for the channel because we got a lot more coming. But I'm out.